Hey guys, this is Skylar. I am completely blind. I'm autistic and I have a chronic heart condition. Today we're going to be talking about bad behavior at school. So, like if you're a teacher or a mother, or if you're, a student yourself, and you're encountering bad behavior at school, you might want to listen to this because I was once a student. Now, I was able, before I fell ill with my heart condition, I was able to complete grade 12 of my education at the School for the Blind. I was at the School for the Blind, which is like 3 hours away from where we lived. So they would bus me in on Sundays to school, and then they would bus me back home for Friday on the weekends. So today I'm going to be talking about bad behavior at school and some of the causes behind it, because it might not just be bratty teenage rebellion. There might actually be a reason behind it, and I'm going to talk to you about that. See, 80% of my maybe 75% of my bad behavior was caused by rebellion, teenage brattiness. But there was a 25% which was caused by emotion, or not emotions, but what I call petty strictness at home. Like my mom, she is a really good person, and if you knew her, she's a very wonderful person. And she would be like strict. See, I have favorite words, okay, and I'm constantly, I have lots of words that I'm hooked on, so to speak, and this has been the case ever since I was young. I would get hooked on a certain word. Well, my mom, depending on the word, would get really strict on what word I was hooked on. Like, for example, when I was 13, I started getting hooked on the word liquor, and like the drink, liquor, Liquor, and my mom was kind of strict on me about, use of that word. And there was one word that I was hooked on that she was like, you need to quit liking that word or something. She goes, you need to forget about that word. You need to quit liking that word, kind of thing. She didn't really understand my autism very well, and she was very, strict on words that I could get hooked on, words I could say for pictures, that kind of thing. So, and that kind of thing would lead to bad behavior. Let me give you also bad dreams could lead to bad behavior. Let me give you an example of some real life examples first, and then I'll give you an example of bad dreams that could cause it. Now, real life. School picture day, I would get very nervous around school pictures. This may sound stupid, but I hate it when people tell me to smile or to say cheese for pictures, because for pictures, I only like to say my favorite words. Not smile, not cheese, not peas, not flowers, but my favorite words, which I have a lot of. So come school picture day, I was really nervous about, is the photographer going to force me to say cheese and things like that. So I would act up beforehand because I was so nervous. My nervousness would translate into bad behavior. Also, the same could be said around flu shot day. I don't like needles, so I was really nervous around flu shot day, and so I would act up that day as well if I knew it was coming. One day, my mom was watching on her desktop computer a skit, a clip of SNL, Saturday Night Live, and I think it was called Evil Boss or something, and one of them was this guy named Mr. Tarkanian, this really kind of hothead, Jekyll and Hyde type of character, and he goes, I am this close to R-U. Now, I really hate the R word. That's R-A-P-E. I cannot stand that word. And I don't really think it's funny, even in a joke. And so when I heard that, I kind of kept it in because my mom, back then she wasn't really sympathetic about words that I hate, which I only have 6 of. And anyways, and the R word's one of them. I cannot stand it. Luckily, it's never happened to me. But anyways, so I held that in, and come Monday, the day after, I was behaving very badly because of being forced to hear that joke about the R word. And I didn't think it was funny, that type of thing. Also, for when I was 15, I was hooked on the song "Pop Goes the Weasel," the English nursery rhyme, and I wanted to buy a Jack in the Box, the toy, not the restaurant. And my mom wouldn't let me buy one. She was like, I don't know what kind of kick she's on, but my 15-year-old daughter, I was 15 back then, is not going to buy a Jack in the Box. So basically, it was kind of petty strictness, like about what words I could like, which I could say for pictures, which words I could buy at the store, if you know what I mean, things like that. Now, let me give you an example of bad dreams that can cause bad behavior. One time when I was 15, I had a dream about a guy named Neiman, Nemon. He was a guy that exists only in my dreams. In my dream, he threw an egg in my face because he didn't like autistics. Now, I am an autistic, so, you do the math. And, so, after I had that dream, I was kind of behaving a little badly at school. And that same weekend, my mom, unknowing to her, we were out at my grandmother's house and she had me eat fried eggs, which was so traumatic because I had just gotten up from a dream 2 days ago beforehand about somebody throwing eggs in my face. Didn't really want to be eating them, if you know what I mean. Also, in my dreams, there's a device called a Tew, T-E-W. It kind of looks like a sit and spin, or like a pawn, like a game pawn, kind of round at the bottom, but it has like a little post at the top kind of situation. And what you do is you'd sit cross-legged and you would hang on to this post, and the Tew would spin around like 200 revolutions per second. And I would have dreams about being, for starters, I don't like rides that spin around. Okay? Never have, never will. But I would have dreams about being forced onto this Tew, this spinning device. And those dreams were often scary to me, and I didn't like them. So that would translate to bad behavior at school. Also, if I had dreams about any of my 6 words that I hate, like, crucifixion dreams or dreams about the R word, that kind of thing, that would lead to bad behavior at school sometimes too. So nowadays my mom is a lot more understanding about coping strategies, favorite words, words I don't like, and bad dreams. But back when I was at school, she wasn't. She wasn't really understanding about words that I liked or didn't like. She didn't want me being hooked on any words that weren't politically correct, type of thing, or age appropriate, like like I said, Jack in the Boxes and things like that. So that being unable to one time I was hooked on the word lap, that's L-A-P, and I wanted to make like a seat cover that was shaped like one. Like I wanted to get a pair of old pants or something that didn't fit, and like stuff them with stuffing, and tie them up at the legs and just have like a seat cover that was shaped like a lap. And my mom, I trouble about that. So, yeah. So not being able to have, or be hooked on certain favorite words, that could cause bad behavior. Not being able to say favorite words, like for pictures type of thing. Being, feeling like I was shackled, as I used to call it, like not being able to be me, or bad dreams. Those are some of the things that could cause and did cause bad behaviors, because when I was young, I didn't have coping strategies like I do now about dealing with bad dreams. And even now, they're not that great. Like, even now, I'm kind of grumpy when I have bad dreams and things like that. So I kind of look, for things around the house that can make me happy after having a bad dream. So I kind of have that time to recoup, kind of thing. But back in school, my coping strategies weren't that good. So sometimes bad behavior is not just bratty rebellion type thing. Also, when I felt like I was being scapegoated, meaning like if I felt like, people in my family were taking their problems out on me, being mean to me, taking their anger out on me type of thing, I would get bad behavior too. Or I would present bad behavior. So, yeah. Hopefully you enjoy this video and hopefully is able to enlighten somebody, and God bless.